All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Aaron Creates here, back at it with another video. And honestly, I got something special for y'all. So a little different than what I'm used to doing. But, I usually talk about theories and things like that. But today we are going to look over some of the questions in the SBS volume 114 of One Piece. And I've heard some very interesting things in it. Haven't really looked at it. Actually, I can't say that. I haven't seen anything. Haven't seen anything. So looking forward to going over it with you guys. If there's anything interesting in there, definitely looking forward to reading it. But yeah, so stay tuned and we'll get right into it. All right. All right. So, FYI, if you guys have a better way to find the SBS videos or information, definitely let me know. So, I found a Reddit post on it or a Reddit thread. So I understand not everything on Reddit is for everybody and it's not to be taken seriously, but honestly, this is One Piece and we gonna get our information wherever we can, especially if it's coming from a reputable source. And from this, it looks pretty legit. It looks pretty legit. So Volume 114 SBS Mega Thread. Okay. All right. I knew they were going to do this to my boy. They done made his hair white. Is that purple? Partially colorblind, so bear with me. So it looked like it's white and purple or white and blue. I don't remember. I'd have just stuck with what the community had. White and black. That was fire. All right. So here's our first question. It says, question 1. Hello, Oda Sensei. About Captain John and Ganzui of the Rocks Pirates. Aren't they the previous users of the Jiki Jiki no Mi, Kid's fruit, and the Bomu Bomu no Mi, Mr. Five's fruit? But their usage was a bit different. Is Gil Bistar interim the previous Hora Hora no Mi, Perona's devil fruit user? Did this person use negative hollows? Okay, that's a solid question. So Oda says that's right. They're all previous users and are already dead. These three appeared once as general zombies during the Thriller Bark arc. But, well, it doesn't really matter. There isn't a fixed way to use an ability. That's interesting. The user's personality comes out. Since Ganzui has thick fingers, he couldn't pick his nose to make bombs like Mr. Five. Now, time is up. That's it for the SBS. Luffy doesn't appear at all in this volume, but he'll go wild in the next one. See you in the next volume. What we gonna hear about Luffy, man? That's a good question though, because that honestly says a lot to like the current Devil Fruit users regarding like how they use their ability and things of that sort. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. So question 2. Are there any standard activities or games that Luffy and the crew play during their parties? It's no disrespect to whoever asked this. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like we got a lot more different questions to ask. Maybe this is like the only question they ask that's like that. But like this question right here about, it was alluding to something else. They got a very insightful answer in regarding to how people's personalities allow them to use their abilities different. Like that's good information. You know what I'm saying? So to the Luffy and the crew playing, during the parties, Oda says there are plenty. Once Brook gets into the swing of things, he immediately starts playing the piano or violin. Frankie joins in on her guitar, and then the singing and the choruses begin. There's the classic chopsticks and the nose loach dance and Usopp quiz. Usopp boards are handed out and everyone plays. There are penalty games, arm wrestling, board games, Jenga, weapon darts, drinking contests, speed eating contests, djembes, dice gambling, blindfolded, plank walking, sumo, Usopp imitation show. Usopp did have an imitation thing. I do remember that. I think that we saw that back in Arlong Park. All right. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't want to go through all of these if they're all gonna be questions like that. Odachi. This is question 3. Odachi. Does the captain of the Kuja pirates always become the Empress of Amazon Lily? Great question. Great question. Answer. It's actually the other way around. First, there is a saying in Amazon Lily. In this country, strength is beauty. The strongest and most beautiful person wins the throne as Empress. Simultaneously, they also serve as the captain of the Kuja pirates. With the story of Shakuyaku, who successfully escaped the celestial dragons, being depicted in this volume, I feel like we can start to see why Hancock and her sisters, who were candidates for the Empress position, were targeted and enslaved by someone. Not that it matters, though. That was a good question. Solid question. So, question 4. Young Gloriosa was depicted wearing the same snake earrings as Hancock. Huh. Also, it seems that Shakuyaku and Tritoma wore different accessories before becoming captain, but wore the snake earrings after. Is it a rule that captains of the Kuja pirates wear those earrings through the generations? Yeah, I mean, Oda says it right here. I'm just going to read what it says. It said, just like the previous question, the Empress comes first. Excuse me, being the Empress comes first. Think of them like a crown that is passed down to each Empress. After they step down, they are free to keep wearing them or take them off. I'm not mad at that answer. I'm really not. It's just things that I don't really care about. You know what I'm saying? I don't think y'all would care about it either. But yeah, it's very insightful for these guys to ask these kind of questions regarding the this level of detail. I didn't think of that. All right. Question 5. Is the Kozuki Moria seen in the chapter 1158 cover page actually Gecko Moria? I bet you received a mountain of questions about this, but please tell us, Odachi. PN Wakaku. I'm not going to lie to you. I did say it was Gecko Moria. I did say it was. But I want to hear Oda's answer straight from the horse's mouth, right? I think most of the community knew it was Gecko Moria. Gecko Moria, yeah. So he says, that's right. I actually wanted to reveal this during the Wano arc. Whoa, excuse me. Can't read. During the Wano Country arc. But I couldn't find the right opening to fit it in. Could have did Oda's flashback. What are we talking about? Never mind. Yeah, you could have introduced this during the Oda's flashback, man. It's all good, though. It's all good. Based on the information I've given you all so far, Moria was described like this. He once fought with Kaido. After his entire crew was killed, he developed a personality that relies on others. He possessed the corpse of the legendary samurai Ryuma and the famous sword Shusui. From those points, you might have imagined that he had been to Wano before. But what I really want to share is, we did come to that conclusion. But what I really want to share is the reason for his fight against Kaido. When Moria was a young boy, he drifted ashore to Wano, or in Wano. The people of the Ringo region took him in warmly. Because they cherished him and gave him the name Kozuki in honor of his strength, Moria, who had already set out to sea as a pirate, return to fight Kaido in an attempt to save the people of Wano from his attack. This is the kind of information we need right here. This is the kind of questioning we need, the kind of answers we need. We just got some crazy lore that, bruh, because, like, I'm not going to lie to you, Gecko Moria was one of my least favorite characters. But if we get, like, background and backstories and flashbacks that have, like, lore to it, you just made this dude seem cool to me, man. This man came back. All right, let me finish reading. I already said the pirates at sea as a pirate. Return to fight Kaido and attempt to save the people of Wano from his attack. Crazy. However, he was defeated. After his loss, Moria felt so ashamed that he left Wano without saying a word. Dang. The people assumed he had died and built a grave for him. Since I cut this from the main story, it's just a need-to-know bit of trivia. I don't know, man. That seemed really important, Oda. That seemed really important, bro. But this is what I'm talking about. We need to be asking questions like this. Questions that change our perspective of the character and how a story develops. That is the line of questioning we need to keep asking. Shout out to whoever did that, bro. Let's see, how many are there? Because I don't want to. Let's see. 11. I'll do one more. All right, question 6. Hello, Oda Sensei. You've mentioned that Denden Mushi don't mind being captured by humans because they get fed. Does that mean the Denden Mushi kept by the Straw Hat crew get to eat delicious meals made by Sanji? I'd love to know the details of how the crew takes care of their Denden Mushis. People have a right to ask the questions they feel like they would like to get answers to. And I don't know what to say about this, bro. That's kind of wild. That's a wild question to ask. Like, I don't really care. I really don't. Think I care about somebody's Denden Mushi? You think I care about what the Denden Mushis eat? You think I care about what the Denden Mushis do outside of their job of answering the phone? Huh? And making phone calls? Huh? And it's not just me. It's everybody. It's everybody. We don't, and I'm not saying that to belittle somebody else who really has a genuine interest in it, but aren't there more important things going on in the world of One Piece? Like, wasn't there more things going on during this God Valley arc? That's where, like, the disconnect is for me. Like, it's questions like this. Anyways, Oda says, I don't even feel like reading it, bro. Let's read through it. All right. Now I'll read it. Oda says, right, well, first of all, on the Sunny, there is one long-distance Denden Mushi. Additionally, 5 members, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Robin, and Frankie, carry baby Denden Mushi, which is short distance, which they sometimes lend to each other. Basically, as long as they have water, Denden Mushi can survive for about 3 months without food. However, since communicating via thought waves uses a lot of energy, it's best to give them some leftovers after use. They are let loose in places like Robin's flower bed or Nami's tangerine grove on the upper deck of the Sunny. They are perfectly happy. if you occasionally give them their favorites, like cabbage or lettuce. Apparently, on days when they get sprinkled with water from a watering can, they get so excited that their signal can reach all the way to the other side of the world. I take back what I said. I take back some of what I said. Some of what I said was actually true. Like, don't ask questions like this, right? But we got a nice answer out of that. I'm not even gonna hold you. We got a nice answer out of that. Like, I didn't really put two and two together and really see like it was thought waves that were the one. What they were communicating through thought waves. That's insane. I didn't. Why didn't I think of that? Ain't no way none of y'all thought about that. All right, don't be trying to come up in the comments talking about, hey, Aaron, you gotta do better. You slow, man. Nah, don't do all that. Don't do all that. Well, let me ask you something. Did you know that when these den mushis get sprinkled with water from a watering can, they get so excited that their signal can reach all the way to the other side of the world? Did you know that? Did you know that? Didn't think so. Didn't think so. I didn't know it either. But hey, we're gonna stop here. But yo, this was nice. This was cool. This was fun. We gotta do this more often. Do something different, like every week or so, right? But hey, again, this is Aaron Creates. The next video, we're gonna do part 2 of the SBS of 1-4. Excuse me. Yeah. SBS 114. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. All right? Peace.